3:03 p.m. here in Huntsville. 62 degrees. Officially wind blowing out about 13 miles an hour towards right. It's awfully towards short. Charging and fielding is Ochoa. Throws on the run, and Chisholm keeps his foot on the bag. A good start for Ballou. He retires Nick Daly on 2 pitches. Daly 1 for 5 last night, hitting .256 on the year. Now it's Jake Georgiadis, the third baseman, in from the right side. Changeup misses outside. That's over the inside. Our home plate umpire today is Ignacio Acevedo. Shaler Smith's at first base. Kevin Bradley's the third base umpire. A long look from Ballou at his catcher, Jordan Cannon. Right back off Ballou and squirts towards Chisholm. Ballou covers quickly and he beats him to the bag. Nice work from Ballou, showing no ill effects of the line drive off his shins. He covered first like a savvy veteran. Nice work from Chisholm at first base to stay with that play. Not routine by any means. It will be scored 1-3-1 on the sharp ground ball up the middle off the bat of Jake Georgiadis. 2 quick outs for Ballou, and now it's Jared Martin, the left fielder. Martin 1 for 4 last night, scored a couple runs. Outfield shaded towards right where the wind is howling. And it's fisted towards first base. Chisholm has it, stays with the spinning one hopper, and Ballou covers once again. A good start for Ballou, gets 3 very different ground ball outs, and he retires Stephen F. Austin in order. We'll stay here for the mid-inning break. After the Lumberjacks go down in order, and tell you about the new pitcher for the Lumberjacks. Shawn Beasley, a freshman, will make his 5th start of his first collegiate season today, his 8th appearance overall. More walks than strikeouts. Opponents hitting .320 off the righty. Has been thrust into a larger role than planned. A sinker slider guy. Should see a lot of ground balls off the bat to Sam Houston if Beasley's on his game. Here's the batting order for Coach Matt Deggs in his 4th season in Huntsville. Bonnert, a freshman, wasn't starting earlier in the year. Now he's become the leadoff man this afternoon, and he's playing left field. Jackson Grissom, a DH, in from the left side. He'll bat second. We'll see a lot of lefties in the Bearkat starting lineup today against the right-handed Shawn Beasley. Hearn, Chisholm, and Harp, the middle of the order. Then Hafner, Cannon, Ochoa, and McKnight. Hafner came off the bench with the game-winning hit last night as the Bearkats scored 4 runs in the 9th inning, their 4th walk-off victory of the year. Here's the SFA defensive lineup. Black behind the plate, Evans, DeJesus, Vasquez, and Georgiadis first or third in the infield. Martin, Daly, and Minor across the outfield. Now a good start for Seth Ballou. We'll see how Shawn Beasley fares against Bonnert, Grissom, and Hearn. Now Bonnert, highly regarded recruit, and has grown in his role as a freshman this year, and now the leadoff hitter for the Bearkats in this weekend series against SFA. First pitch swinging comes up empty. As I mentioned, a sinker slider pitcher is Shawn Beasley. Also throws a changeup. His fastball in the mid-80s. And it's foul back. Bonner, 2 more hits last night. His batting average up to .381 for the season. Today is just his 10th start of the year. And he's the freshman leadoff hitter. Good pitch. The slider's over the inside, and Bonner down on strikes. A good start for Shawn Beasley. And now the freshman will face Jackson Grissom. Grissom gets the start this afternoon. Typically comes off the bench late in games as a big bat, but he starts for the 2nd straight game today. And he takes ball 1. Grissom hitting .255 on the season. Fastball's in the dirt. Grissom 1 for 3 last night, had an RBI. A hitter's count for Grissom. And he takes a fastball over the outside. That's in the dirt. Coach Johnny Cardenas told me yesterday that Beasley's one of the freshmen they recruited, expecting him to be able to grow into the program, but due to various injuries to big pitchers on this SFA staff, he's here pitching on Saturdays. Grissom takes a strike. The count is full. The plan was for Beasley to pitch midweek games this year, but Friday night and Saturday starters both injured. And there's ball 4. A good take on a slider on 3-2, and Grissom walks to first. Grissom has now walked as many times as he struck out this year. 13 free passes and 13 strikeouts. Here's Hunter Hearn. The only player on this Bearkat team to start all 36 games this year, including today. Good power from the right side. Grissom is running on the first pitch, and it's bounced right into the base runner, and he will be out. You have to peek back at home plate to see where that ball might go, and Grissom never looked. And it would have been a perfectly executed hit and run, as we see Matt Deggs talking with Grissom on his way back to the dugout. Quick word from the head coach and third base coach. Grissom had a great jump, likely would have stolen the base on his own, but even better, Hearn went the other way. Would have been a base hit, and Grissom likely would have made it to third, but he never looked back at home plate. Fastball is low, so a bit unfortunate for the Bearcats, and also just a mistake from Grissom to have his eyes centered solely on second base. And fortunate thing for Hunter Hearn is it scored a fielder's choice, so he does not get credit with the base hit when he did his job hitting into the vacated second base hole. Chisholm takes ball 2. It's a hitter's count. Chisholm has been red hot the last few weeks. 2 for 2 last night, drove in 3 runs. That pitch is up in the zone. He came up in the 9th inning last night. Bearcats started the inning trailing 7-4, and he nearly ended it with the grand slam. Hit it high off the wall in straightaway left field, a few inches away from a walk-off grand slam. On 3-0, it's in there for a strike. It ended up being just a run-scoring single, but Ben Hafner would follow with a 2-run single, and on a SFA error, a winning run scored. Matt Odom, the pinch runner. On the Bearcats, 4 runs in the 9th inning for a 8-7 victory last night. Hearn has a big lead at first, and now Beasley steps off. Chisholm, a senior, hitting .360 on the year. Hearn runs, and it's lined out to center field. And recovering to make the catch is Nick Daly. He was very deep, well beyond the Sam Houston logo. So the Bearcats will strand Hearn. After 1 inning, Huntsville, no score.
This is the original light beer. Brewed to be everything you want in a beer and less. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Dude, what's up with your sandwich?
Oh, this is HEB Bear Bread. You know, the network, they heard bear and assumed that it meant naked.
So what does bear bread mean?
It just means it doesn't have crust, which makes it great for all kinds of sandwiches, like the BLT or turkey, tuna salad, any of them.
They all do look good.
Yeah, it's totally SFWL. Safe for work lunches.
Makes sense. I get it.
HEB Bear Bread, part of HEB's Primo Picks All-Star lineup.
You got a little something there.
This is the original light beer. And 40 years later, we still brew it the same way. Because when you get something right, you don't mess with it. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Seth Ballou back to the mound for the second inning. It's a very efficient first inning. 3 very different ground balls. The first was very routine to short. Ochoa had no problem. The second one was right back up the middle, off the foot or shin of Ballou. And he recovered and fielded his position well, covering first. The last was a little squib shot towards first. Chisholm through to Ballou. So a good start for Seth Ballou, the lefty, in the first inning. And now in the second, it's Josh Evans to lead things off. Takes a fastball over the outside for a strike. Evans last night, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a run scored. He is heating up after a slow start to the season. Big swing and a miss. 3-pitch mix for Seth Ballou. A fastball, a changeup, and a curveball. As Jay Sirianni told me, they signed him for his curveball a few years ago. His changeup has really come a long way. Staring behind that tan mitt, he comes home and he misses outside. Evans had a great year last year in Nacogdoches. He was the Southland Conference Newcomer of the Year a season ago and made the All-Southland Conference first team. Very good eye, taking that outside pitch, and the count is 2-2. But a very different Lumberjack team this year. 22 new players, as 14 seniors graduated from last year's team. Hits this down the left field line, hoping for a play is Bonner. Bonner racing in, and he makes the catch. Well done from Bonner, who's played more center field than left. Early in his Sam Houston career, he had no problem with the sunshine. You could see the bright sunshine shining off his shades as he sprinted towards third base. Mark. Evans retired. And now Skylar Black, the catcher. First pitch over the outside for a strike. Black was the DH yesterday, 2 for 4, a couple of RBIs and a run scored. That pitch is low. Black, a sophomore, hitting .279 for the year. Good extra base potential, 8 doubles, 3 homers. Chased a high fastball that time. 1-2, even nodded towards his third base coach as if to say, I know I chased that one. Mike Haynes, the third base coach for SFA. Caleb Clower is over at first base. Here's the 1-2 offering. Chop towards the Sam Houston dugout. Curveball bounced foul, ran off the front foot of Skylar Black. Now, Black is the catcher today. More of a offensive first catcher. Coach Cardenas told me more of a DH, the third catcher. And when he's in there, we use him for his bat. Very good power, mostly pull power at this point. Not a lot to right field. Still only a sophomore. As I mentioned, 12 extra base hits on the season. Change-up drops in the dirt. It's 2-2. Two and two with one out. That dropped low. And good at bat here from Black. Now the count is full. Ball four. Maybe inside, maybe low. A very close pitch. Now it's Eric DeJesus. The only four-year senior on this Stephen F. Austin team. Foul back. You can see how the Bearcats are aligned defensively. Ben Havener, the third baseman, is off the line. He was up a few steps for the first pitch. Middle infield ready for two. Chisholm right behind the back base runner, Skylar Black, as the fastball is high. Top of the second inning on a very windy day in Huntsville. Big storm swept through southeast Texas last night. A lot of wind and rain. A high strike, and it's 1-2. DeJesus 2 for 5 last night. 4 different SFA hitters had multiple hits. A 5-0 lead for the Lumberjacks, but the Bearcats came from behind to win. Havener runs out of room. Center fielder Hearn is shaded towards left center. There's a huge gap in right center field for DeJesus. The 1-2 pitch. Swung, not in, missed. A fastball. And DeJesus with a sarcastic smile after that one. I think they've been expecting more off-speed stuff away. Good chess match there from Seth Ballou against DeJesus. And his first strikeout of the afternoon. Now it's Manny Vasquez, the shortstop. 2 outs. Skylar Black still at first. Strike one. Vasquez 1 for 4 last night. Hitting .317 for the year. 4 homers, 7 doubles, 18 runs batted in. Outfield stays shifted extremely towards right field. And it's hit out towards right center. Hearn drifts in. And he drops the baseball. Throw goes into second. Everybody's safe. No run scores. It was Clayton Harp who lost that in the sun at the very last seconds. Very dangerous play. He almost ducked out of the way. Did not want to get hit in the face. But with the wind blowing out violently towards right, Clayton Harp lost that one at the last moments. Seemed to be a very routine play until he got near Clayton Harp. Now, even with 2 outs, Skylar Black, the runner at first, did not score on that. Now it's Josh Campbell, the DH. Take strike 1. Here's another look. At the very last second, Harp had to pull out. Tipped into the glove of Cannon. Now Baloo can pitch out of it. Second and third, an RBI situation for Campbell. Baloo ahead in the count 0-2. Stays up and away. Campbell had a very impressive batting practice earlier today. Line drives from foul pole to foul pole. He's really grown from a freshman to a sophomore. And he hammers that one just past third. And they lead base runner Skylar Black. He started the year at third base, had some defensive issues. Now more of a DH, has been able to focus on his bat. The 1-2. Curveball stays high, 2-2. His average up to 254. Could not lay off the high pitch. Good work from Seth Baloo, pitching out past the 2-out error. We go to the bottom of the second after the Lumberjacks leave 2 scoreless in Huntsville.
We believe the best light beer to have with friends is the original light beer. Always brewed with more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. Miller Lite. Hold true.
At HEB, we are all about Texas beef because we're dedicated to supporting local Texas ranchers, like Dr. Charles Graham from Gonzales, Texas.
I've always loved working ranch animals, so I became a veterinarian to ensure my cattle got the best care 24/7. They need lots of TLC, and I'll make sure to get it.
Ranchers like Dr. Graham are why HEB buys more Texas beef than anyone else. This is the best Texas beef department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
We believe the best light beer to have with friends is the original light beer. Always brewed with more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Welcome back to Huntsville, Texas. Matt Peterson with you as we go to the bottom of the second. Bearkats, the same team day in, day out. That's what their coaches say. Matt Deggs, Jay Sirianni, Lance Harville, Shane Wedd. Win or lose, win streak or losing streak, it's the same guys. Well, a needed comeback win last night after Sam Houston had suddenly lost 3 straight. The finale at Nichols last weekend, and then midweek defeats against Baylor and UT Arlington. Here's Clayton Harp standing in. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Well, Harp had the ball drop in center field in the top half of the inning as he takes a called strike. Very difficult play with the sun shining and the wind blowing, dealing with 2 elements. And there is a real risk of injury there. If you lose it in the sun, as you can see, he lost it so late, could barely get out of the way. Strike 3. Shawn Beasley makes quick work of Clayton Harp. Now it's Ben Hafner. Now, Hafner did not start last night's game, came off the bench with a clutch game-winning hit. First pitch swinging, bounces this to second. Eric DeJesus has it over to Evans, and 2 quick outs for Beasley here. Jordan Cannon will hit next. Ben Hafner last night against Tyler Starks, the SFA closer, had a single that drove in 2, and Matt Odom would score a 3rd run on the play after an SFA error. Now, Hafner coming up big, his 2nd walk-off hit of the season. Cannon takes a good slider for strike 1. Cannon hit leadoff last night, 0 for 4 with a run scored. Now back in his more typical spot, lower in the order, hitting 7th this afternoon. No score, 2 outs on the Bearkats' 2nd. High chopper towards short. Vasquez has it. On to first, a very good inning for Shawn Beasley. 2 innings complete in the Battle of the Piney Woods. No score.
Success does not come easy. Winning championships takes hard work on the field of play and in the classroom. Play your part in building champions and become a Bearkat champion today.
I know my life is going to be in a better place after I graduate because of the donors who give me their endowment each year.
The Bearkat Champions Fund, building champions.
Dugouts. A little demoralized, I'm sure, after last night's rivalry loss against Sam Houston. These teams had some good battles last year. SFA won 2 of 3 against Sam Houston in Nacogdoches. And then they met in the opening game of the Southland Conference Tournament, the very first game for any team at 10 a.m. And Sam Houston crushed them 13-1. In 7 innings, they beat them by the run rule en route to a perfect Southland Conference Tournament. Bearkats won the conference tournament and, of course, went on to win the Lubbock Regional and make it to its first ever Super Regional. It was a short tournament for SFA. They lost the next day, were 0-2, and their season was over. So I'm sure some revenge on the minds of some of these SFA players, although so many newcomers, 22 new players, are Johnny Cardenas' team. Now, Nick Miner will lead things off. 9-1-2 in the order against Seth Ballou. Ballou misses inside. 32 pitches so far for Ballou. 22 have been strikes. Two 2-0. Ballou did a good job after his own walk. He struck out to Jesus, and then what normally would have ended the inning, a fly ball from Vasquez. Harp lost it in the sun and perhaps affected by the wind, but he came back to strike out Campbell to leave 2 in scoring position. But here he is now, falling behind Miner, 3-0. Miner 1 for 4 last night, drove in a couple runs as the number 9 hitter. Three and 1. Miner hitting .267 for the year. 1 homer, 16 driven in. Foul back. Now the count full. Asked Jay Sirianni today about the difference in Seth Ballou this year versus last year. He said he's just more mature, knows how to get guys out. Maybe last year at times he would overthrow on certain pitches. Bounce to short, tough play. Ochoa has it, fields the in-between hop, and enough on the throw to retire Minor. Nicely done from Ochoa, who's played second base most of this year. Playing third base from the first inning on today, and that was not an easy play. You see Minor hustling the whole way. Nick Daly now. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. There's a line drive into left center, a base hit. Harp gets to it, a big turn at first from Daly, and he'll stay there. First hit allowed by Seth Ballou. Now it's Jake Georgiadis. He hit it hard his first time up, right over the mound. A low line drive hit the shin of Ballou and rolled right towards the first baseman Chisholm. Turned to a 1-3-1 putout. Now he bats with Daly leading from first. Bearcats must keep an eye on Daly at first. 17 steals in 21 attempts this season. Chisholm on the bag with him. Middle infield double play depth. Hafner's back at third. About slowly towards Hafner, a foul ball. Coach Sirianni says Ballou better understands who he is as a pitcher. Just more experienced on the mound this year. It's been a big part of the Bearcats' fantastic start to the season. 24-10 after last night's comeback win. Now they have him picked off. Caught in a run down here. Here comes Riley McKnight throwing back to Ballou, and the pitcher completes the pickoff. Now Nick Daly, one of the best base stealers in the Southland, picked off by the left-handed pitcher Seth Ballou. Take another look. He realized it right away too. And went Chisholm to McKnight and then back to Ballou. 1-3 to 4-1 on the pickoff. 0-2 now. And it's foul back. Well executed pickoff from the Bearcats. Those aren't easy, especially when it's a good base runner out there like Nick Daly and his 21 steals on the year. 1-2. Georgiadis, 0 for 1. Having a really good year at .333 on the season coming in. Takes high, it's 2-2. A long look from Ballou, gets the sign from Cannon. And that stays high. A curveball above the zone. Coach Cardenas told me that Georgiadis was a transfer player that they thought would come off the bench. But he did so early in the season and has become a starter and has really solidified the third base position. Pops it up first base side. Tough play for Chisholm with the sun and the wind. Chisholm will make the catch. Over the shoulder on the warning track. Well done from the big first baseman. Seth Ballou helps himself with the pickoff of Nick Daly. Now to the bottom of the third in Huntsville. No score.
This is the original light beer. Brewed to be everything you want in a beer and less. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Dude, what's up with your sandwich?
Oh, this is HEB Bear Bread. You know, the network, they heard bear and assumed that it meant naked.
So what does bear bread mean?
It just means it doesn't have crust, which makes it great for all kinds of sandwiches like the BLT or turkey, tuna salad, any of them.
They all do look good.
Yeah, it's totally SFWL. Safe for work lunches.
Makes sense. I get it.
HEB Bear Bread, part of HEB's Primo Picks All-Star lineup.
You got a little something.
This is the original light beer. And 40 years later, we still brew it the same way. Because when you get something right, you don't mess with it. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Welcome back to Don Sanders Stadium in Huntsville. Bottom of the third inning. Now this middle game of a rivalry series. Bearcats have come from behind 8-7 win last night. The finale tomorrow at 1 p.m. Corner infielders up as Ochoa stands in and takes the first pitch for a called strike. Shawn Beasley has really settled in. He made quick work of the Bearcats in the second inning. The freshman comes home, and Ochoa taps it towards second. Jesus slings it to first. Ochoa retired. Here's Riley McKnight. McKnight getting more and more starts after a slow start to the season. Two for 4 last night with the run scored. Also had a base hit as Sam Houston lost Wednesday at UT Arlington, so he starts for the third straight game. To the 3-game losing streak, the Bearcats went with a lot of experience last night. By design, using some of the upperclassmen leaders as a slider spins in there. And look at last night's starting lineup. Cannon, Harp, Hearn, Chisholm, Cryer, a newcomer, Grissom, Bonner, McKnight, 7 or so veterans of the program that have been here 3+ years. Good sliders over the inside, 1 and 2. McKnight among those. His batting average at 146, but brings a lot to this team. He stays alive here. Some big moments last year in the postseason. Outstanding athlete, can play all across the infields. Started at shortstop last night, playing second base today. He strikes out. Sinking fastball away. Third strikeout for Beasley. And now it's Eric Bonner. He struck out looking in the first. Shawn Beasley's ready to go. Standing motionless on that mound. Misses low. He has really benefited from that base running mistake from Jackson Grisham on the possible hit and run. Base hit from Hearn. It hit Grisham on his way to second, as this is right back up the middle, a base hit for Bonnerts. Now Beasley had to duck out of the way of it. The way he fell off the mound took him right in the path of Bonnert's line drive. Bonnert 1 for 2 today. Now Jackson Grisham. Grisham walked his first time up. Bonner, good speed at first. A big hole on the shortstop side of second base. The third baseman, Georgiadis, plays towards the bag. And the shortstop, Manny Vasquez, shaded up the middle. Another throw, and Bonner dives in safely. Bonner 4 for 4 in steals this year. 2-0. Bonner, 4 multi-hit games in his last 7 starts before today. He's hitting .231 as recently as March 25th at Dallas Baptist after being more of a reserve player. But since getting his first start against Abilene Christian, has not relinquished the starting role. A good eye from Grissom. He walked his first time and now ahead in the count 3-0. Bonner started all 3 games against ACU, a midweek game at Rice, all 3 at Nichols, and a 4-pitch walk to Grissom. Oh, it seemed like Beasley was cruising right along. Had retired 7 in a row and had the bases empty and nobody out. But the single from Bonner and a 4-pitch walk to Grissom. Here's Hearn. I was mistaken earlier. I said it was a fielder's choice in the scorebook. It's actually a single and scored 4 unassisted. So a base hit credited to Hearn on the Jackson Grissom base running error last inning, which turned a possible first and third situation into a out. Here it's grounded right back up the middle, an infield hit for Hearn, right off the torso of Beasley. First pitch swinging for Hearn, and he has his second hit today. Bearkats rallying here with 2 outs. Mike McCary, the pitching coach, goes out to the mound to take a look at Shawn Beasley. You know, a single, a walk, and an infield hit have loaded the bases for the Bearkats, and Blake Chisholm is due up. See Beasley doing a practice pitch to see how his upper body feels. Looks like he's okay. Chisholm 0 for 1, hit a fly ball to center field his first time. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the Bearkat 3rd inning. Beasley's going to go from the windup. One and 0. Two balls and no strikes. Now a 3-pitch mix for Shawn Beasley. The sinker, the slider, and the changeup. Errant command here in the 3rd inning. Hitters count for Chisholm with the bases loaded. Good pitch over the outside for a strike. Beasley now steps off. No wasted motion from Beasley. Gets right back on the mound, stands on the slab, and reads the signs from his catcher, Skylar Black. Chisholm fouls it off. Beasley's from Tyler, Texas, pitched at Van High School. And a freshman already in a big role, pitching Saturdays for Stephen F. Austin. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 3rd. Strike 3 over the outside, and Beasley pumped up as he runs back towards the dugouts. The Bearkats leave him loaded, scoreless as we go to the 4th. Fourth inning now from the dawn. No score between Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston State. Middle of the order coming up for the Lumberjacks, Martin, Evans, and Black. Number 3 hitting Jared Martin, leads things off. Had a squibbed one-hop ground ball to the first baseman Chisholm his first time up. Fouls the first pitch back. 46 pitches so far for Seth Ballou. Pitch misses outside. Ballou's last time out was at Nichols. Very difficult conditions, similar to this, but even colder in Thibodaux, Louisiana. After a rainout on Saturday night, he pitched the continuation of the game starting Sunday morning. Coming on technically in relief, but from the very start of the day, as a starting pitcher went 6 innings, allowed 2 runs, just 1 earned on 4 hits. Lifted out to right, Hunter Hearn battling the sunshine, makes the catch. Martin's 0 for 2. Here's Josh Evans. Evans hit a fly ball to left his first time up. Ballou 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. In his performance at Nichols last weekend. Nice changeup, and Evans swings and misses. 104 total pitches for Ballou last Saturday, 2 shy of his season high back in March against Mississippi State at the Shriners Classic in Houston. Another changeup in the dirt, 1-1. Overall, this is his 5th start of the year, although last Saturday was basically a start. Began with the 3rd inning, but it was the continuation of the previous night's game after a rainout. Pitch is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Had a chance to talk with Rodney Hernandez, Ballou's head baseball coach at Fort Ben Travis High School in Austin this week. He called Seth Ballou a bulldog during his time. As it's bounced towards first, Chisholm backs up on it, gathers his feet, and flips to Ballou. Ballou's had a very good day today fielding his position, covering first base. And he picked off Nick Daly last inning to help himself out. Now it's Skylar Black batting with 2 outs. Changeup is outside. Coach Hernandez, speaking about Seth Ballou, said he was always up for the big time games, such as Clements and Dulles, as the Fort Ben Travis High School pitching ace as a junior and a senior. There's a strike. Said he makes it look effortless at times. And a big game in the postseason against Kempner. Quite a few strikeouts. Pitching here at the base is empty and 2 outs. It's just in. A good take from Black. Coach Hernandez says he was always a gym rat, always on the field. Also a good hitter and a right fielder in high school. Squibb toward short. Ochoa to his left has it from behind the bag in time to get Black. A 1-2-3 inning for Seth Ballou. To the bottom of the 4th from the dawn, no score. Now the home half of the fourth in Huntsville. Sam Houston and Stephen F. Austin, the Piney Wood rivals. Shawn Beasley's been very good. Pitched out of a bases-loaded jam last inning by striking out Blake Chisholm looking. Now he'll face Clayton Harp. Harp swings and misses to the first pitch. Harp had a rough at-bat his first time against Beasley and struck out. 4 strikeouts for Beasley, who has thrown 42 pitches so far. Bounce to the right side, right over the bag. Evans has it, and it's foul. Evans to Jesus, Vasquez, and Georgianis, first to third in the infield. And Skylar Black is the battery mate of Shawn Beasley, the freshman right-hander. Interestingly, we see Johnny Cardenas, the head coach in his 10th season, out to talk things over with the first base umpire, Shaler Smith. He was saying that it's fair and it should be out for Clayton Harp. Looked to be right over the bag, a tough call for a first base umpire. And Cardenas makes his piece and jogs back towards the dugout. Harp takes ball 1. Beasley could have his longest outing of his young college career today as it's bounced towards shortstop. Manny Vasquez has it. Low throw to first in time to get the speedy Clayton Harp. Harp is 0 for 2. Now Ben Hafner for the Bearcats. Beasley has worked 5 innings twice in 2 of his last 3 starts. But it's been a struggle to pitch this year for Stephen F. Austin, at least with consistency from the starters. No starter has gone 5 2/3 innings or more in a start this year. First pitch over the inside. That's hard to believe considering SFA has played 33 games this year. Hafner takes low, 1-1. Hafner grounded out to second. 0 for 1 today. Had the game-winning hit last night, a 2-run single, and a 3rd run scored on an error from SFA. Popped up behind third and beyond the wall past Georgianis. Beasley's last time out was at Northwestern State last weekend. 5 innings, just 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. They've kept his pitch count low. He's never gone 80 pitches or more, so managing the freshman's arm. Fastball is high, 2-2. As I said earlier, some of the best starters are injured for the season. Seth Campbell, the Friday night guy, is out for the year. Tony Grabowski is out as well, as the count is full. Both of those pitchers have had Tommy John surgery. And the 2 best starters, at least heading into the season, out for the year. And everyone's moving up a run or 2 as a result. A good walk from Hafner. Watched a couple close pitches miss. 3rd walk issued by Shawn Beasley. Bearcats drew 6 walks last night. Here's Cannon. Grounded out to shortstop his first time. And it's blooped down the right field line, just foul. Well, that would have been trouble for Beasley. Foul by about a foot. Coach Johnny Cardenas, the 10th-year head coach at SFA, told me they've had 6 pitchers injured, including Campbell and Grabowski. Their projected Sunday starter, Jake Norton, is also out, although he might return this year. Tough to navigate a season when you lose so much good pitching. Nice off-speed pitch, swung on a miss by Cannon. Coach Cardenas said the recruiting class they brought in, primarily a pitching and defense class, which sort of helps after these injuries. You have the young reinforcements to step into larger roles. But it's freshmen pitching on the weekend in conference play in a situation like this against a very good hitting team like the Bearkats. Cannon lines it foul down the right field line. Now Beasley with 3 walks today. He'd been much better with his command. 1 total walk in his last 2 starts. Walks were an issue earlier in the year. 3 walks or more in 4 of his first 5 starts. Fouled off. But one challenge with a guy like Beasley, a freshman, you have the off-season plan, the fall, and the preseason workouts, and you're projecting a guy like him to pitch 2 or 3 innings at a time, maybe an occasional midweek start, but to be asked to pitch on Saturdays and go 5 or 6 innings is way more than anyone expected. That stays high, 1-2. But he's pitched pretty well. He's given his team a chance to win each of the last 3 times he's taken the hill. 1-2 the count on Cannon. Runner goes, and it's lined into left field to base hits. Hafner will make it to third. The throw goes into shortstop. A hit and run on 1-2, and Cannon comes up with a line drive base hit. Planted that front foot early, did Cannon. Waited back on it, then ripped it past third, and Georgiadis. There's a spot for Trey Ochoa. A lot of possibilities here for the Bearkats. Ochoa, a very good bunter and good speed, and we'll see how SFA aligns defensively. Corners are up, middle infield playing for 2. Cannon was off for the first pitch, and it's fouled towards the Bearkat dugout. Cannon's base hit, the 4th of the afternoon for Sam Houston State. Cannon was running on the first pitch. Hafner a modest lead at third. Shawn Beasley comes home, and it's fouled at home plate by Ochoa. You can see the defensive alignment. Georgiadis is even with the grass at third base. Another foul off the catcher, Skylar Black. Oh, a big hole between third and shortstop for Trey Ochoa. And now he'll walk down and talk with Matt Deggs. Black went out and talked with Beasley. No activity yet in the SFA bullpen. Last night's starter, Dzik, went 5 innings for SFA. 1-2. Kubo, Adams, Hearn, Gomez, and Starks. The 5 relievers used by Johnny Cardenas yesterday. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count. Cannon runs, it's hit right back up the middle of base hits. The Bearkats are on the board, Hafner scores, and with Cannon running on first on the pitch, he makes it to third easily. Now Trey Ochoa comes up with the two-strike single. And the Bearcats, who did not lead last night till a walk-off hit from Hafner, grabbed the lead here in the fourth. Johnny Cardenas will go out to the mound as we take another look at this base hit up the middle from Trey Ochoa. A walk and two straight singles for the Bearcats. Ochoa with the 16th RBI of the year. And now activity will begin in the SFA bullpen. A long mound visit from Johnny Cardenas and an opportunity to talk things over with Ignacio Acevedo. Perhaps voicing his displeasure towards the call on Clayton Harp's ground ball. It was rule foul. Harp eventually grounded out. Perhaps talking about the strike zone on Hafner's walk. Maybe something else. Anyway, it's Riley McKnight. First and third for the Bearcats and one out. Runner goes from first, it's up and in, they throw down to third. And nothing doing. A stolen base from Trey Ochoa. Skylar Black basically conceding second base to Ochoa, through to third, trying to catch a napping cannon. Corners stay up, the middle infielders stay back. Squeeze is put on. McKnight showed very late. Boy, Ochoa got a huge break. Somewhat tipped off the fact that the squeeze was on. The difference in how quickly Ochoa broke to when McKnight showed was probably a second or two. Well, McKnight can't put it in play, but he makes contact, which is most important on a suicide squeeze. Here's the 1-1. Lifted out to deep center field. That will get the job done. Nick Daly under and now will make the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Cannon. The Bearcats take a 2-0 lead on a sacrifice fly from Riley McKnight. Now pack baseball, a little bit of everything, trying to suicide squeeze on one pitch, and on the very next, a deep fly out to center. Plates a run. Third RBI of the year for McKnight. And now it's Eric Bonnard. Had a good swing his last time up, a line drive right over the head of Shawn Beasley. Ochoa at third with two outs. First pitch grounded to short. Tough play for Vasquez. Throws on the run in time. Nice play from Vasquez. Bearcats leave one, but they score twice. We go to the fifth. 2-0 Sam Houston. Seth Ballou now takes the mound with a 2-run lead as the Bearcats score twice in the bottom of the 4th. Ballou has been very good. 1 hit, 1 walk allowed. He's fielded his position well and picked off the very speedy Nick Daly to help himself out. He'll face DeJesus, Vasquez, and Campbell, 6, 7, and 8 in the Stephen F. Austin order here in the 5th. First pitch misses, ball 1. DeJesus struck out his first time up. That was immediately after the walk to Skylar Black in the 2nd. Fastball stays high. High fly ball, medium right center field, and Hearn calls off Clayton Harp. 1 out. Good to see Hearn take charge. That would typically be the center fielder's ball, but with Clayton Harp struggling with the sunshine and wind earlier on a similar fly ball to nearly the exact same spot, it's a nice play from a teammate for Hearn just to take that one over instead of Harp. DeJesus is 0 for 2. Here's Manny Vasquez. Made a nice play to end the bottom of the 4th inning on a ground ball off the bat of Bonner. Now he stands in with a 1-0 count after he hit that fly ball out to center that Harp was unable to catch staring into the sunshine. Good pitch, running in on the inner half of the strike zone and called a strike as Vasquez talks it over with the home plate umpire, Ignacio Acevedo. Popped up behind first. Hearn will watch it roll on the right field berm. I mentioned Rodney Hernandez, Seth Ballou's head coach at Fort Bend Travis High School. He was always a very, very good academic student. Great leader, a very good team. Seth Ballou senior year, 7 guys signed to play college baseball from his senior year's baseball team. Bounce foul on the 3rd base side. A couple of those have gone on to play in the professional ranks with the Angels and Cubs. Coach Hernandez says Ballou was very demanding of his teammates. Not afraid to get in the chest of them and tell them to pick it up. That one's in the dirt. And similarly, if someone made an error behind him, he'd pick him up and said, let's move on. Let's get the next out. The 2-2. Bounce towards short. Ochoa has it, fields it on his left side and throws to first. Nice play from Ochoa. Made it look easy, playing shortstop this afternoon. Vasquez is retired. Ballou, an involved baseball family. His dad was always around the field, according to Coach Hernandez. Ballou's mom, a teacher in that Fort Bend Travis school district. There's a fastball for a strike. Campbell struck out to end the 2nd inning. A sophomore is 0 for 1. It's rope foul behind the Bearcat clubhouse. Campbell, a sophomore this year, really benefited from the off-season. Put a lot of time in on the weight room. Added 15 pounds of muscle this last off-season. 1-2. Playing a lot of third base last year. He's been able to focus more as a pinch hit, designated hitter type role. Prove his swing a bit in his approach at the plate in his second collegiate baseball season. Change-ups in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foul past third, it remains 2-2. Before the Nichols start, Seth Ballou's last outing was at Rice, a midweek start down in Houston. He went 4 innings. Sam Houston eventually rallied for a late win. A wild comeback, a deep deficit, but Bearcats scored something like 9 runs in the final 2 innings to win it. Ballou also came out of the bullpen. 5 very good innings in the Friday night victory against Abilene Christian here a few weeks ago. Popped up, foul ground. Jordan Cannon flips the mask. Looking into the sun, he'll make the catch. Good work from Seth Ballou. He has been very efficient this afternoon. Out of the last of the 5th in Huntsville. Bearcats up 2-0. For Stephen F. Austin. Jackson Grissom has been very patient today. He's been to the plate twice and has drawn 2 walks. Something about Jackson Grissom leads Shawn Beasley to throw balls. Now he gets a chance to swing and lines it foul past the first base coach's area. 1-1. Grissom now with more walks than strikeouts this year. 14 base on balls, 13 punch outs for Grissom. Three and one. Third walk today for Grissom. Well, a prototypical job done by Grissom in the number 2 hole, getting on base ahead of the big hitters. He's done it 3 times this afternoon. Here's Hunter Hearn. Hearn is 2 for 2. A base hit on a possible hit and run, but hit the foot of Grissom on his way to second, and then a clean single for Hearn his second time up. Good slider finds the inside for a strike. "70 pitches now for Beasley. And a throw back to first, Grissom back in safely. Hearn bunting, and it's foul. Five hits for the Bearcats. Beasley's walked 4 and struck out 4. Nice block behind home plate by Skylar Black. I would call his outing somewhat streaky. It seems like he cruises along, then when he gets into a little bit of trouble, it can last a little while. Loaded the bases in the third after the bases were empty and 2 men were out, but then he got out of it by striking out Blake Chisholm. Hearn was running and it was fouled off, Hearn fouls it off with Grissom running from first. And then similarly last inning, he got Harp to start the fourth, but then walk, single, sacrifice fly. And that's how the Bearcats scored the first 2 runs of this game. Grissom ran the last pitch. He leads from first. It's a 1-2 count for Hearn. Delayed steal, bounce to short, tough play. Vasquez has it, throws on the run in time. Now both shortstops having very good play, very good days in the field. Vasquez made that look easy. Now Blake Chisholm. 0 for 2, a fly ball to center field, and then struck out looking with the bases loaded in the third. Grissom moved up to second. He was off with the last pitch. Hearn's ground out. Ball 1. 75 pitches now for Beasley, who has yet to throw 80 in a game this year. Base hit into right. Grissom's going to be waved in. Here's the throw from Nick Miner. Cut off at first. 3-0 Bearcats. Now Bearcats able to bunch their base runners and hits in the middle innings today. And they've grabbed a 3-0 lead against Shawn Beasley. Now a chance for Harp. Bearcats are now 5 for 9 today with runners on base, and 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Chisholm has a big lead at first, and the first pitch is up and away. 27th RBI of the season for Chisholm, one behind team leader Hunter Hearn. 3-0 Cats. Harp fouled it off his front foot. That looked painful. His shin guard came off from the impact of the baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Harp. Had a chance to speak with Harp's old high school coach, Russell Krennick, the head coach at El Campo High School, about an hour south of Houston. Coach Krennick said, Harp's always been a tremendous athlete. Use that to his advantage across the field and on the bases. Chisholm a big lead at first. Harp takes an inside strike. A delayed call from Ignacio Acevedo, but it's 1-2, and now Harp will go talk with Matt Deggs. Harp is a very good football player as well at El Campo High School. Was a receiver, a defensive back, and a punter. And Coach Krennic said you could put that slim leg into the ball, he could punt that sucker 50 or 60 yards. And great athletes. One of Harp's postseason games featured a preview of a possible showdown against McNeese State, as this is hammered high and deep down the right field line and foul. Harp gets those arms extended. He's got significant power. Hit a big 2-run shot against Dallas Baptist a few weeks ago in the Saturday game. The Bearcats won that game on Harp's game-winning shot in the 8th. Chisholm's not running, and Harp bounces it into right field to base hits. Chisholm's going to be waved to third. A big throw from Minor is offline. Harp takes advantage going up to second on the throw. And Johnny Cardenas is going to go to the bullpen. That's the end of the line for Shawn Beasley. A good start for the freshman, but he runs into trouble here in the middle innings against the Bearcats. Bearcats never really slugged against him, but in the last 2 innings, he gave up 4 singles and a couple walks. A new left-hander coming into the bullpen. We'll tell you about him when we come back to Huntsville.
This is the original light beer. Brewed to be everything you want in a beer and less. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Dude, what's up with your sandwich?
Oh, this is HEB Bear Bread. You know, the network, they heard bear and assumed that it meant naked.
So what does bear bread mean?
It just means it doesn't have crust, which makes it great for all kinds of sandwiches like the BLT or turkey, tuna salad, any of them.
They all do look good.
Yeah, it's totally SFWL. Safe for work lunches.
Makes sense. I get it.
HEB Bear Bread, part of HEB's Primo Picks All-Star lineup.
You got a little something.
This is the original light beer. And 40 years later, we still brew it the same way. Because when you get something right, you don't mess with it. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Stephen F. Austin. A junior out of Seymour, Texas. So he his 20th appearance, so a heavily used arm out of the bullpen. The most used reliever on this SFA team. He has a 7.06 ERA. 17 strikeouts against 9 walks. Van Hafner trying to extend this Bearcat rally. Singles from Harp and Chisholm after a leadoff walk to Jackson at Grissom. Middle infield is back. The corners are up for the Lumberjacks. And a big cut from Hafner. It's 0-1. Hafner walked and scored last inning. He's also grounded out. Cody Adams dangles that left arm. Now he comes home. And it's hit high and deep down the right field line, slicing towards the corner. Foul. A home run distance past the foul pole. A couple youngsters go to retrieve it beyond right field. Great hands from Hafner. In on his hands, and he kept a bat inside and nearly kept it fair. Sam Houston State being held mostly quiet by Beasley in the first couple innings. They loaded the bases in the third, only for Chisholm to strike out, and 2 runs in the fourth, 1 here in the fifth as Hafner takes outside 1-2. Now Sam Houston, 11 hits last night, but they drew 6 walks. Doing everything today with base hits. 7 singles for the Bearcats. I've also drawn 4 walks. Swing and a miss. Nice off-speed offering. And Hafner down on strikes. Now it's Jordan Cannon. Now Cannon with 2 outs. Singleton scored last inning, is also grounded out. Big cut, he fouls it back. One with 2 outs in the Bearcat 5th inning. 3 runs of support already for Seth Ballou. Adam steps off. Had a good chat with Damon Denman, the Centerville baseball head coach, about Jordan Cannon and what he was like as a baseball player in high school. Change up is low, 1-1. Coach Denman said Cannon's a quality kid. He's one of those kids that was the total package. Great body, little pop. Said he can run like a deer. I think that surprises so many people about Cannon, the catcher, is how athletic he is. Fouls this one off. Coach Denman said he's a big kid, not a lumbering kid. He played outside linebacker and strong safety on the Centerville football team. He said he easily could have gone somewhere to play college football, but he liked baseball more. Good take, it's 2-2. Two in scoring position with 2 outs. Another changeup makes the count full. Coach Denman said Jordan can play anywhere on the field. Pitcher, catcher, third base, first base, the outfield. Said he's just a ball player. And Coach Denman now tells his son, you're a ball player. You can play across the field. There's ball 4. It goes to the backstop. Racing in from third to score is Chisholm, and it's 4-0 Sam Houston. Harp moves up to third. A ball 4 wild pitch. Now Trey Ochoa. Well, a mistake from Cody Adams. He had him 1-2. But 3 straight balls, culminating with the wild pitch, ends the at-bat. And the Bearcats have scored 2 in each of the last 2 innings. Ochoa takes ball 1. Ochoa singled last inning as part of the 2-run rally. Got an RBI on that hit. Takes a called strike. It's 1-1. Fifth walk drawn by the Bearcats this afternoon. Cannon's running and Ochoa fouls it back to the screen. Spoke with Jeff Payne, the Rockwall High School head coach, about Trey Ochoa this week. Called Ochoa a dirtbag in a good way. That's a affectionate baseball term. Said Ochoa outworks everybody, a coach's dream. Ochoa played shortstop for that Rockwall High School team. He's playing shortstop for the Bearcats today. First and third, 2 outs, a 1-2 count. And it's fouled off the catcher, Skylar Black. Coach Jeff Payne said Ochoa's always been the smallest, but always been the toughest. All business on the field for Trey Ochoa. Bounce to short. Charging is Vasquez. Sets himself and throws on to first. Nice play once again from the SFA shortstop. But the Bearcats capitalize once again. They're bunching their hits and walks, and they score 2 more. To the 6th in Huntsville. Bearcats lead 4-0. Coming up for the Bearcats, Stephen F. Austin again tomorrow, 1 p.m. And then back-to-back midweeks against Houston in the Don Sanders Cup. The April 18th game is a rescheduled, postponed ball game. So Tuesday they'll be down at Schroeder Park in Houston. Wednesday here at Don Sanders Stadium. And then UCA comes in. Central Arkansas having a good year. Be a good test for the Bearcats. Both those games Friday and Saturday will be on ESPN3. Seth Ballou has done his job today and now pitching with the 4-run lead. Only 72 pitches needed so far for Ballou. 46 of them strikes. They'll face 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Nick Miner, Nick Daly, and then Jake Georgiadis. Miner's 0 for 1. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. And that's hammered down the left field line. A fair ball. Bonner bobbles it. Miner will make it into seconds. I don't know if the bobble would have mattered. Perhaps a double for Daly, but no matter what, it's a leadoff 2-base hit. I think that's a double all the way. It was a minor bobble from Bonner. I don't think it affected whether it was a single or a double or not. We'll see how the official score scores that. And it's indeed a double for Miner. That's the second hit for Stephen F. Austin today against Seth Ballou. Now the top of the order, and Nick Daly. Change up is low. 6th double of the year for Miner. Ballou a few looks to second, and he comes home, and it's fouled back. Aggressive from Daly. Coach Cardenas told me that if Daly can be patient and not swing at pitches out of the zone, he can really set up the offense. Sometimes overly aggressive, trying too hard to help his team atop the order. So we saw activity beginning in the Bearkat bullpen. That just missed. Patience there from Daly. Always trying to get on base and perhaps extending his zone at times. Two and one the count. A good take there. It's 3-1. Baloo has walked only one so far. It's bounced towards short. Ochoa has it. Freezing is Minor. The throw from Ochoa is right at Chisholm. Nice play from the Bearcat shortstop. And there's one out. Daly 1 for 3, singled and was picked off, trying to steal second as last time. Now Jake Georgiadis, 0 for 2. Rounded back to the pitcher's mound the first time and popped up in foul ground as last. Hits this on one hop. Hafner has it, looks back the runner. They throw to first. Chisholm unable to keep it cleanly. Safe on the juggle is Georgiadis, and up to third goes Minor. Well, the bobble was in the air just long enough for Georgiadis to beat it out. Likely be an error on the third baseman, Hafner. Low throw from Hafner, and Chisholm unable to dig it out. Indeed, an error on Hafner, the second of the day on the Bearcats. Now first and third, one out for Jared Martin. Bounce foul past third. Martin, a freshman and number 3 hitter, got off to a great start. Scouting reports now out on him. He's had to adjust midway through his freshman season. 0-1 with one out. And it's lined towards left and through a base hit. Here comes Minor, he scores. And Stephen F. Austin finally getting to Seth Baloo here in the 6th inning. 4-1 the score. A double, an error, and now a single, and now Josh Evans, the best hitter in the SFA order. Swing and a miss. This is a big at bat. Evans has home run power, 6 homers, most in the SFA order. And with the wind blowing out, he could tie this game with one swing, which seems surprising considering Sam Houston just led 4-0 and Blue was cruising. Popped up foul, backing out of play. That was the 28th RBI of the year for Martin, the team leader. I think he's really benefited from hitting in front of Evans. Evans, of course, the Southland player, the newcomer of the year last year and first team all-conference. Teams have decided to pitch to Martin with Evans on deck most of the time. Bounce towards first base. Tough play. McKnight will flip to Baloo, and there's 2 outs as both base runners advance. Nice job by McKnight to take over that play. It's an easier play for him than the first baseman. He took charge. Baloo has covered his position well all day, and that will be the final sequence for him as Matt Deggs is going to go to the bullpen. No signal has been made just yet. And Ballou's going to stay in this game. Big opportunity for Ballou to limit the damage and finish the 6th inning. Black at the plate with 2 in scoring position and 2 outs. Changeup is low. Black walked his first time and grounded out to short his last. It takes ball 2. Ballou at 85 pitches on the day. Outfield shaded towards right. Georgiadis at third, Martin is at second. Good pitch on 2-0. Stayed off speed and a hitter's count. Found the strike zone. Georgiadis reached on an error. He's at third. Martin with an RBI single. He's at second. Hammered out to left. Racing back is Bonnert. He settles under it and makes the catch. Good work from Bonnert. It's hard as an outfielder. A line drive hit right at you. But he made it look pretty easy. Ballou does well, leaving 2 in scoring position. Now to the last of the 6th. It's 4-1 Bearcats. Stephen F. Austin, after today's game, will return to the Dawn to take on the Bearcats tomorrow afternoon. And a midweek game against Arkansas Pine Bluff before a home series against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Tomorrow will be the 7th game of this road trip for SFA. A team that's really trying to find identity. 22 new players after 14 seniors graduated a year ago. A Friday and Saturday starters both out for the year after Tommy John surgery. Tony Grabowski and Seth Campbell. They're fighting against the Bearcats today after a Lumberjacks unable to hold a 5-0 lead last night, including a 7-4 advantage going to the bottom of the 9th. The Bearcats have led the whole way today. 2 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. SFA got a run back in the 6th, but Seth Ballou did a good job to limit the damage and leave 2 in scoring position. Here's Riley McKnight. A bunt, and it's a good one. And he's on as the throw goes past first and down the right field line. A bunt base hit and a throwing error. McKnight leads off the 6th, and he's standing at second. McKnight heating up at the plate. 2 hits last night, 1 hit Wednesday in Arlington. A sacrifice fly his last time and a bunt base hit right here. Clearly a play that Adams just should not have thrown the baseball down to first. It was really no chance to get McKnight with his speed on that bunt. He just compounded the problem with his throw. Now it's Bonnard bunting. And Adams just gets him with a good throw to first. Bonnard gets the sacrifice down. McKnight moves up to third. Bonnard 1 for 3 with a single. Now Jackson Grissom. Been very patient at the plate today. He's walked in east of his first 3 trips to the plate. And come around to score his last time. Middle infield is halfway. The corners are up for SFA. And it's line past first, a base hit. Past the drawn in infield. Grissom gets the job done. He'll try to turn it into a double. And he's out. A good relay to Jesus to Vasquez, and they get Grissom. No argument from him, but it's an RBI hit from the Bearkat DH. Now Grissom hustled out of the box, challenging the arm of Minor. Now, a pretty good play from Minor. He fielded that near the foul pole in the right field corner, and a very quick tag applied by Manny Vasquez. Excellent rally, or relay, especially when the second part of it's such a short throw from De Jesus to Vasquez. It makes it a little more difficult. Hearn takes a strike. 15th RBI of the year for Jackson Grissom. Bounced foul. Give some credit, Ben Reichert, an excellent sports information man for Sam Houston State. Just talking to him casually before the game today about the Bearkat lineup. He thought Jackson Grissom was due for a good game. A pick to click, and right on cue, Grissom 3 walks and an RBI single. Hearn goes up the middle on 1 and 2 and finds a base hit just past the dive of Manny Vasquez. 10th hit today for the Bearkats. And the 3rd hit of the afternoon for Hunter Hearn. Now Hearn's average up to .336 for the year. The Bearkats, all 10 of their hits have been singles. Now it's Chisholm. Pickoff play, close at first, but Hearn back in safely. Chisholm an RBI single, and it also come around to score last inning. And that hits Chisholm. Here's Clayton Harp. Now, the Bearkats did not have a hit in this game until 2 men were out in the 3rd. That's when Eric Bonnert singled up the middle. So Shawn Beasley had a good first time through the order. 10 hits since that point for the Bearkats, as Harp takes a strike. Harp singled in the 5th inning. Also grounded out and struck out looking. Harp ropes this out to right field, but Minor has a beat on it and makes the catch. The inning is over. The Bearkats will leave 2, but they add another. They get the run back scored by SFA in the top half. Through 6 innings in Huntsville, Bearkats 5, SFA 1. Dominic Robinson is the new pitcher for the Bearcats. 6 quality innings for Seth Ballou. Robinson into the game with a 4-run lead. Ballou in position to go to 3-1 on the season. Before we give you Robinson's numbers, here's Ballou's final line. 6 innings, just 3 hits allowed. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Needed 87 pitches. Now he gives way to Robinson. 10th appearance of the year for Robinson. 9 out of the bullpen, a 4.50 ERA. 14 strikeouts and 12 walks. And Robinson, a sophomore out of Tomball, Texas. DeJesus, Vasquez, and Campbell, 6, 7, and 8 in the Stephen F. Austin batting order. One ball, no strikes. One and one. DeJesus has struck out and hit a fly ball to right. Three and one. Foul back. DeJesus, the only 4-year senior on this Stephen F. Austin team. Coach Cardenas says he understands how the program works. A very good defensive second baseman, solid contact hitter. And he draws a walk. He might be the most patient batter in the SFA order. Not what you want out of the bullpen with the 4-run lead. Robinson walking the leadoff man. Now Manny Vasquez, the shortstop. And on cue, Matt Deggs comes out of the dugout. And that's it. Sometimes that's all you get as a reliever. One batter, if you issue a walk, it can be a short leash. A new reliever coming in for Sam Houston State. It's 5-1 Bearcats in the 7th.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
What does it mean to be Southland Strong?
It's not just big wins.
It's success in the classroom and being engaged with service, family, passion, integrity,
Overcoming adversity.
Hard work and dedication.
Bettering people around you.
Striving for excellence.
Leadership and competition.
On our campuses.
And in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
Tenth appearance of the season for Colin Cameron. CC as he's known. Pitched against Baylor on Tuesday as Bearcats lost in extra innings, a 1-run defeat. Cameron 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned, a couple walks, couple strikeouts against Baylor Tuesday night here in Huntsville. It's actually a 4-2 loss for the Bearcats. I beg your pardon. Not a 1-run defeat. It was a 12-inning loss. The Bearcats won in Waco back in March, 7-2. Bears came down to Huntsville and got some payback. 5-1, Sam Houston leading. All of the runs coming in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. And SFA with a leadoff man aboard as Eric DeJesus walked against Dominic Robinson, the only bat that Robinson faced. Now it's Manny Vasquez. First pitch misses outside. Vasquez 0 for 2, reached on an error his first time, grounded out to short his last. Vasquez out in front a bit, pops it up, foul on the third base side. CC dealt with an injury early last year. Coach Sirianni told me earlier this year he's starting to understand what it takes to get guys out here at the Division I level. That's bounced in front of home plate. Cannon will not have a throw. A free 90 feet for SFA. DeJesus up to second. Now Bearcats getting a little sloppy here in the 7th. They're pitching as if it's 5-4 or 5-3, not 5-1. Robinson did not attack the zone. Neither has Cullen Cameron. That's roped down the left field line towards the bullpen, foul. Activity continuing in the Bearcat pen. A wild pitch a moment ago, by the way, allowed DeJesus to take second. Josh Campbell, the DH, is on deck. 5-1 Bearcats in the 7th. Nice pitch, swung on and missed. And Cannon completes the strikeouts. Nice comeback from CC after the wild pitch. He gets the strikeout. Now it's Josh Campbell. Campbell's 0 for 2. Struck out to end the 2nd. Popped up into foul ground to end the 5th inning. Righty on righty. Fastball, just foul. Right past the third base bag. Outside 1-1. Mentioned the Bearcats overcoming a 5-run deficit from the 3rd inning on, including 4 runs in the 9th to win it. A lot of blown leads yesterday across college baseball. Good pitch from Cameron. Badly fooled was Campbell. It's 1-2. University of Houston, or the Bearcats will play twice next week. The Cougars had a 10-run lead over Tulane in the 6th inning. Game over, right? Not so fast. The Green Wave fought back 2 runs in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, and 5 in the 9th. That's in the dirt, 2-2, another curveball. A walk-off pass ball as Tulane rallied for the 17-16 win. UH unable to hold the 10-run lead over Tulane, losing 17-16. 2-2 with 1 out. Bounces in front of home plate. Cannon blocks it. And another free 90 feet as DeJesus takes third. Just curious why these Sam Houston pitchers are being so careful with the SFA hitters. It's a 5-1 game. It's a 7th inning. There is an open base, but we'll see what happens. And there is ball 4. That is the result of when you throw 2 in the dirt and you get to 3-2, that possibility looms. It's great if you complete the strikeout, but if you can't, it's 2 walks in the inning. And now it's Nick Miner. And here comes Jay Sirianni out of the Bearkat dugout. The pitching coach and associate head coach makes the call to the bullpen. After Seth Ballou walked only 1, the relievers have walked 2 here in the 7th. That's the end of the line for Colin Cameron. Another pitcher coming in for the Bearcats. We'll be back to Huntsville after this.
Growing the ground is not just a saying or an expression. I take it as more of a Bearcat way.
It's time for everybody to get together. So anybody comes out, the community of Huntsville comes out and just get together, wear your orange.
To me, Grow the Growl is more than just letters on a stadium or words on a pamphlet. It's more about an overall feeling of spirit.
You made the commitment to come to Sam Houston. Commit all the way, 100%.
Success does not come easy. Winning championships takes hard work on the field of play and in the classroom by our student athletes.
Thank you for blessing me with this opportunity and your support so that our future Bearcats can continue our winning tradition.
Play your part in building champions and become a Bearcat champion today.
Dakota Mills is the new pitcher, the senior out of the bullpen. If there's one guy you want out of the pen to throw strikes, it's Dakota Mills. Probably the best command in that pen. And after 2 walks issued with the 5-1 lead, Coach Deggs and Sirianni and the rest of the coaching staff said, let's just bring on Mills. Well, Mills picked up the win last night. He got the final out in the top of the 9th inning. Bearcats at the time were trailing 7-4. And with Sam Houston's 4-run rally in the bottom half, he picked up his 2nd win of the season. Well, Mills has been outstanding, has grown into the closer's role. 44 strikeouts against only 6 walks and 27 2/3 innings. He has been special this season. Cannon goes out to the pitcher's mound. DeJesus is at third. Campbell's at first. Both have walked. Nick Miner will bat. Roped a double down the left field line last inning and came around to score. Foul back to the screen. Dakota Mills had an outstanding high school career at Dulles High School in the Sugar Land area of Houston. Had a good chance to speak with Clint Welch about Mills as a high schooler. Welch now the head coach at Ridge Point High School. Said Mills had a bulldog attitude on the mound. Fastball there for a strike, and just like that, it's 0-2. Coach Welch said Mills' work ethic was top 1% of anyone I've ever coached. And he said, when I called the pitches, he hit spots like no one he'd seen, and no one has had the similar command since. The 0-2, just outside. 36 playoff innings for Mills. At Dulles High School, he allowed 3 runs. Significant accolades as a high schooler. Mills, one of those seasons, was High School Coaches Player of the Year in Texas. Foul back. Mills and Dulles went to the state championship game. One of his seasons, he threw a no-hitter in the regional final, a 3-hitter in the state semifinal. And Pierre's in for the sign. 5-1 Bearcats in the 7th. Dakota Mills comes home. Breaking ball fouled right at home plate. Mills was also a good hitter. 300 at the plate. Interestingly, was not used early in the season as Coach Clint Welch did not want him to possibly get hurt at the plate and then they'd lose their best pitcher. So they'd save him for later in the year and the playoffs. 1-2 with 1 out. Here it comes. Lifted out to right center. That should score a run. Clayton Harp in the alleyway gives way to Hearn, who makes the catch. Tagging from third to score to Jesus, and it's 5-2 Bearcats. Good at bat from Minor, gets the RBI. Here's Nick Daly. Daly 1 for 3, singled in the third, is also grounded out to shortstop twice. Campbell runs, the throw is high into center field. Harp gets to it quickly. Josh Campbell with the steal. A good jump for Campbell. Jordan Campbell now 3 for 4 in steals this season. Josh Campbell, I beg your pardon. 1-1 on the count on Nick Daly. Fouled right at home plate, painfully off the front leg of Daly. Unfortunate bounce off the home plate area for Nick Daly. Fastball stays high. 1-2. Mills has been versatile and extremely valuable. This is his 17th appearance of the season. Bearcats play their 35th game. Fouled off Cannon back to the screen, so he's nearly pitched in half of them. Now over 28 innings pitched for Mills. Fifth or sixth most on the roster. Used in multiple ways. Started a couple games this year. He's closed out games. Comes on here in the 7th to finish off the inning after 2 walks. Nice work from Daly to stay alive. Wind continues to howl out towards right field. Outfield is shifted towards right. Dead pull side for Daly is wide open down the left field line. Strike 3, a fastball right down the middle. Daly caught looking. Dakota Mills, continuing a great season in 2018, does the job in the 7th. Ben Hafner will start things off for the Bearcats in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch called a strike. Cody Adams has done a pretty good job. He's worked 1 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, but he's kept his team within striking distance. Hit weakly towards second, charging it to Jesus, sidearm to first, 1 out. And he's got some off-balance swings from the Bearcats, especially the last couple innings. Hafner is 0 for 3. He scored a run after walking in the 4th. Here's Jordan Cannon. 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 4th, walked in the 5th. First pitch is foul back. Quickly 0-2. Cannon fouls it back. Pair of right-handers are ready in the SFA bullpen if needed. I mentioned my conversation with Damon Dedman, the Centerville baseball head coach, about Cannon, just raving about his athleticism and versatility. A football player and a baseball player. Outside linebacker and strong safety on the football field. Also a quarterback. They'd use him at times. Under center. High chopper towards second. Jesus charges, fields it, and throws to first. You can see how quickly Cannon can get down the line for a big catcher. Adams has settled in nicely here in the latter innings. A couple of ground ball outs in the 7th, and now it's Trey Ochoa. Ochoa singled in the 4th. He's also grounded out twice. First pitch, he fouls it back. One of Canyon's teammates on that Centerville baseball team was Cade Harrison, who now plays at Oklahoma. They were two of the best in the conference, and many people were surprised that that Centerville baseball team had 2 Division I players. Just off the size of Centerville, not far up the road from here in Huntsville. Ochoa pops it up into shallow right. Tough play with the sun and the wind, and it's caught by Minor. Nicely done. Calling off the second baseman to Jesus. A 1-2-3 inning for Cody Adams. On to the 8th. Bearcats looking for their 2nd in a row against SFA. Seymour, by the way, is near Monday and Knox City. It's just west of Wichita Falls, the Panhandle. Dakota Mills shut the door in the 7th. He'll come back and pitch the 8th with a 5-2 lead. I mentioned the Houston Cougars blowing a 10-run lead in the 6th inning last night. Some other comebacks across baseball last night. Texas against Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Sooners led the Longhorns 6-4 going to the 9th. Texas scored 3 runs in the 9th for a 7-6 win. First pitch called a strike taken by Jake Georgiadis, who is 0 for 3 today. OU is 24-0 on the season when leading after 7 before Texas's comeback. And the Longhorns were 0-12 when trailing after 7. Right notes courtesy of D1Baseball.com. I mentioned the UH blown lead. How about Clemson against Miami? Kind of hard to fathom. 0-2 on Georgiadis, and it's bounced to 2nd. McKnight has it on a few hops, flips over to Chisholm, and he drops the baseball, but it's still out. They say on the exchange it came out. Looked like a routine play, far from routine for the Bearcats, but it's an out in the box score. Now it's Jared Martin with 1 out. First pitch swinging, pops it up on the infield. Chisholm racing in, dealing with the wind, makes the catch. Nice play from Chisholm. Just like that, 2 outs. Josh Evans up next. Clemson led Miami by 8 runs going to the 9th inning. Miami scored 8 in the 9th to send it to extra innings. And then Miami took a 12-11 lead in the 12th inning on a Freddie Zamora RBI hit. Clemson unable to hold an 8-run lead in the 9th inning against Miami. how it goes some nights. One of many things that makes baseball a great game. You always have one more at bat. No clock. Never run out of time. You just run out of outs. Evans ready with 2 outs and the base is empty. Mills misses ball 1. Evans is 0 for 3. Hits this one high in the air to right field. Long run for Hearn. Still coming on. Hearn nearly makes a running catch, but it pops out. A great play to get there from Hearn, but unable to keep it in his mitt. And Evans is aboard. It's an error on the right fielder, Hunter Hearn. Third error committed by the Bearcats today. Now we're going to have a pinch hitter. Santiago stands in. Pinch hitting for Skylar Black. And he ropes it foul. Luis Santiago, a junior out of Puerto Rico, by way of Bossier Parish Community College. Eight hits in 45 at-bats this year. He takes a strike, it's 0-2. Bearcats have now committed 39 errors on the season as they play their 35th game. Our opponents have committed 45 errors. Runner goes on 0-2, and there's the strikeout. Santiago down on strikes. Second strikeout for Mills, who has been excellent once again. 5-2 Bearcats. Welcome back to Huntsville. 5-2 Bearcats. It's been a tale of 2 days. Last night the Bearcats fell behind 5-0 in the third. We're clawing back the rest of the way, eventually overcoming SFA in the ninth with 4 runs. Today it's Sam Houston who jumped to a 4-0 lead by the fifth. And Stephen F. Austin playing the pursuer. Riley McKnight leads off, bunts it down the third base line. A good bunt picked up at third and throwing to first. Nice play. Georgiadis makes it look pretty easy. And McKnight, who bunted his way on last time, is retired. Here's a look at Jake Georgiadis. Charging, the bare hand pickup, and a nice throw to first. Now Eric Bonner to top the Sam Houston order. First pitch swinging. Out to right field. Minor shading his eyes from the sun makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Cody Adams here in the 8th. Bonner is 1 for 4. Now Jackson Grissom. Give Bonner credit, the Bearcats hadn't done much against Shawn Beasley till he batted with 2 outs and the bases empty in the 3rd. And with his single to center, things have not been the same for Stephen F. Austin. First of 10 hits in the game for the Bearcats, all singles. Now it's Jackson Grissom. An RBI single his last time. Out trying to stretch it to a double. He's also walked 3 times. Grissom, been more of a reserve player this year, coming into the game late, but an opportunity to stay in the starting lineup. Back-to-back quality games for Grissom. 1 for 3 with an RBI last night, and a big spot in the order today, batting number 2, and he's been on base all 4 times. Fouls it back. Technically was thrown out trying to stretch a single to a double last time. Not on base in that way, but an RBI hit nonetheless. Now, Cody Adams has done a great job out of the bullpen. He's saved the rest of his pen for tomorrow. Swing and a miss. Grissom down on strikes, retire for the first time today. And Adams has worked 3 2/3 quality innings. We go to the 9th. Dakota Mills will try to shut the door for the 2nd day in a row. 5-2 Bearcats. It's a career-long outing for Adams. Seriously. I know. Top of the 9th inning, the Bearcats in position to go to 13-1 in the Southland Conference. Now the Bearcats won their first 10 games in league play. They lost a 1-run game at Nichols last Sunday. A split of a doubleheader after a rainout on Saturday. They won last night, come from behind fashion. Trailing 5-0 going to the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch swinging to Jesus, pops it up into left field. Bonner, battling the sun, makes the catch. He's had a nice day in left field. It's been a tough day to play outfield in Huntsville with the bright sunshine and the wind howling in multiple directions. It's funny, you look out towards the flags in right field, they're sometimes not blowing, but then you look on the concourse and the trees behind 3rd, and they're going out towards center. Here's Vasquez. Slider drops low. Vasquez 0 for 3, struck out in the 7th. Just 3 hits today for Stephen F. Austin. 2 innings so far for Mills. He came on with 1 out in the 7th. And that's called a strike. over the outside, 1-2. Fourth time pitching this week for Mills. That's the kind of horse he is. Got 1 out against Baylor, 2 outs against UT Arlington on Wednesday, 1 out last night, and now pitching on Saturday afternoon. Bounce to the right side, foul. Gave up 1 run at Nichols last weekend. A 3-inning performance at Nichols in the Friday night game. He has done this before this season. Swing and a miss, up and out of the zone, and Vasquez cannot lay off. The Bearcats are 1 out away. 3 strikeouts for Mills. Now it's Campbell. 0 for 2, walked his last time. Swing and a miss. Hit in the air high and deep to left. Bonner at the warning track, spins around and makes the catch. Well, Eric Bonner can teach a class on how to handle the wind on a windy, sunny day in Huntsville. He handled everything hit his way today. An outstanding day for the freshman left fielder. And how about that for Dakota Mills? He closes the door with 2 2/3 innings of relief work out of the bullpen. The Bearcats win another against their Piney Woods rivals, 5-2 this afternoon. A great start from Seth Ballou through the first 6 innings. And then Dakota Mills 2 2/3 to close it out after he got the win with 1/3 of an inning a night ago. The Bearcats can go for the sweep against their rivals tomorrow afternoon, a 1 p.m. first pitch. The Bearcats are now 13-1 in the Southland Conference, and they've already won 25 games overall this season. Sam Houston State improves to 25-10 on the year. SFA falls to 4-10 in Southland play, 12-22 overall. A team effort at the plate. Seth Ballou and Dakota Mills, the stars on the mound for the Bearcats. I'm Matt Peterson saying so long from Don Sanders Stadium with the final score. Sam Houston State 5, Stephen F. Austin 2. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.